Holy shit. They never disappoint. We just had yet another incredible NXT TakeOver. Man, oh man, sorry it took me a couple of minutes to get up here live. I wanted to catch the end. I wanted to make sure the pay-per-view went completely off the air before I came up live, just in case anything happened. And Tommaso Ciampa came out right at the end to congratulate and hug Johnny Gargano. Perfect little cherry on top to what was an incredible fucking night of wrestling. Insane. What's the worst takeover we've had so far? I mean, I think the worst takeover we've seen has been like an A- show, right? These are insane, incredible. All right, I'm up and running here. How's it going, everybody in the chat? Hello, hello. Happy what night is it? Friday night. WrestleMania weekend is upon us. The cats are already fucking with me. But we kicked off things right tonight with NXT Takeover. That was incredible. I think every match was awesome. And we have had some recent takeovers where there might have been one or two weak matches here or there. Can't think of one off the top of my head, but I know in recent memory we've had a couple of duds at TakeOver. Tonight, I honestly didn't think there was one. I know a lot of fans are probably going to say the disappointment for them was the women's match, but I thought the women's match was awesome. I thought the finish was awesome with the double KOD and then Baszler locking in poor Bianca for the submission. I think a lot of people are just mad that Baszler retained. I'm thrilled. She's had a long run so far, and I like that she's being built up as a pretty credible champion, and when she drops that belt, it should mean something. Fuck the Fatal 4-Ways. I'm just not a fan. I'd rather have, when you start putting someone on a run like that, I feel like it's best when they drop it one-on-one. Doesn't always have to happen that way. I just prefer it. So I thought tonight was awesome from top to bottom. And that's what's great about these 5-match cards. What do we have here? 3 hours. The 5-match card still lasted 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's a pretty good amount of time. But right with the opening match, the tag match, and then into Dream and Riddle, I mean, everything was entertaining from top to bottom. Very little negative things I could potentially even say about this show. Spectre right off the bat with a super chat. Thank you for that $5, dude. Holy fuck, that Dunn-Walter match was amazing, but Cole and Gargano is likely the match of the weekend. Holy fuck, what a great match. That reminds me. Thank you, Spectre, for that. You are awesome. I just put up a Twitter poll. Right as TakeOver went off the air, I'm going to check it. I asked you guys, what was the match of the night? Twitter only gives you 4 options, so I did Dream and Riddle, Dunn-Walter, Gargano and Cole, and then tag or women's title match combined into one there. And Gargano and Cole is leading the way at 67%, 15% for Dunn and Walter, and 10% for Dream and Riddle. The funny thing about Gargano and Cole, though, is I felt like it started off kind of slow. They were saving it up for all of this at the end. I mean, that end was crazy. So maybe during the first fall, I think Dunn and Walter might have been in the lead for the best match. But boy, did Gargano and Cole kick it up at the end. That was insane. Johnny Gargano was superhuman, maybe a little bit more to a degree than I would like to think is realistic. That's the type of shit. Those are the type of kickouts we see from Roman Reigns, from John Cena, that all the fans say don't make sense. But everybody seemed perfectly fine with Gargano doing it. It was basically a 4-on-1 handicap match. That's what it was. All of Undisputed Era was out there, especially during that last fall, when Cole was already up 1-0. Gargano tied it up. They go into the final fall. There's near falls out the ass. Then all of Undisputed Era hits the ring. The referee somehow doesn't see any of this shit. I think all 3 of them get their shots in on Gargano. They interfere more than once and break up a Gargano submission on Cole. And he still not only survives that onslaught, but goes on to kick out of more shit. And then finally catches Adam Cole in the crossface or whatever the hell he uses, and gets the tap out for an extremely dramatic main event. Edge of your seat type stuff, fluttering, beating heart type of stuff. It's what we have come to expect from WrestleMania weekend, especially when you tie in NXT TakeOver to the whole thing. It's incredible. Fucking incredible. So I thought tonight was kick-ass. I'm going to talk about all of the matches. Nathan Hansen, thank you for that super chat. It would have meant more had Gargano beat Ciampa. Maybe, but they sure as hell made up for it. That's for sure. I'm not going to complain at all about this match. I would have liked for it to be the original plan. I mean, it was such a long-running issue between the two of them, but the fact that they went in this direction, no big deal. Oh, shit. I thought... Did you just jump off the counter, dude? All right. Joey G, thank you for that as well. Gargano and Austin Aries looks like twins. Kind of. They kind of do. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. Good to see you in here. Good to see everybody in here. 150 people or so. Man, I'm ready for this weekend. I'm actually glad that TakeOver is back to Friday here. I kind of like kicking off the weekend with some wrestling. And then tomorrow night, the night before WrestleMania, just a little more chill of a night with the Hall of Fame, because at WrestleMania, we're expecting to see some pretty good matches. And then if we do at TakeOver just 24 hours prior, that's an awful lot of wrestling, and especially with WrestleMania going to be 8 hours. We need that little break in between. And I think I'm going to like this format better if they stick with it. Don't know if this is just for this year because of the Madison Square Garden show, or if they're going to keep it like this and move the Hall of Fame back to Saturday. As a fan, I think I prefer it that way. Talent might not, but I do. And we're what matters, right? The audience. Yeah, I like the ending there with Ciampa and Gargano. It's a shame, man, what happened to him. Toni Storm was she in the building? Was she on camera, right? I thought they showed her. Yeah, Pete Dunne, his long run with the title came to an end. I only got one match wrong in my entire predictions, and that was Riddle versus Dream. We'll talk about that in a minute. But one of the matches I did get right was Walter winning the UK title, because Pete Dunne's had it for like 2 years. 2 years or something. I think it's been, if it's not 2 years, it's close to it. I have a feeling it's over 2 years. Long damn time. At this point, what does he have left to do? Who does he have left to beat? And they're giving Walter a title shot right out of the gate here. This is a big bad monster. You'd really want to have him lose to someone half his size when you're trying to build him as a monster. To me, all the signs were pointing to put the strap on Walter. I was glad he won. The match, I think, exceeded my expectations. I thought it was great. And they beat the holy hell out of each other. Gargano and Cole may have had the drama, but Pete Dunne and Walter are going to be the most sore, for sure. I mean, my God. Just vicious hammering blows. I don't know how either one of these guys survived. And the finish was incredible. The top rope power bomb that led to the Walter splash or the frog splash or whatever he did for the finish was insane. Dunne flew halfway across the ring. It reminded me of a spot between Candido and Marty Jannetty at the Survivor Series back in 94 or 95. And it was kind of like that. And Candido flew so far on the other side of the ring. It was just an incredible spot, and it reminded me a lot of that, but even more extreme. And then hit the splash and the pinfall. Great shit all around. Glad Walter won the belt. Don't know where this leaves Pete Dunne now. If he goes to main roster at some point, I don't know. I think the world could use a Pete Dunne versus Daniel Bryan match at some point. Would be nice if they could ever get to that. But knowing WWE and knowing the way the main roster works, Pete Dunne does not want to go there. He's better off just staying put right where he is. But I wish him well. That was a hell of a run. Respect to Pete Dunne for 2 years as a champion, which in modern day wrestling is pretty damn rare to have a run that long, especially with a belt that's so competitive. Spectra, thanks for the super chat. I got a couple of these to clean up. You write in, I'm glad TakeOver was today, or I'd be too tired for Mania on Sunday. Also, after Dunne, Walter, I want to see Dunne Sabre Jr. Has that happened anywhere? You guys would know better than me. I don't really know. Yeah, that match would be fun. Dunne and anybody who can wrestle would be fun. For some reason, I was tweeting somebody tonight during the show about Dunne and Daniel Bryan, and I thought that would be a super fun match because Dunne's just such a rugged SOB, and I'm almost happy that he lost the belt because now his poor teeth, the way he bites on that belt, if I try to put one of those replicas in my mouth, I feel like I'd destroy myself. My God. Shut up. Rocksmith88, thank you for that $5, dude. You are awesome. Happy WrestleMania weekend to you. It is here. I am stoked. And come on, buddy. You got to get out of here. I am stoked. I'm ready for the weekend. Unfortunately, I'm going on vacation next week to Hawaii, but I had an unexpected vacation, not a vacation, but an unexpected trip that has to take place right before I go. So because I'm taking all of that time off, I couldn't take the full weekend off like I wanted to. I had planned to take today, tomorrow, and Sunday completely off, but I had to work a little bit this morning, put some hours in, and I have to do that tomorrow too. So unfortunately tonight, I was driving home from work when TakeOver started, so I completely missed the tag team match. But I watched it in my car. I had my network pulled up on my phone and played it through the Bluetooth. and it was badass, and I still have to go back and take a look at that. And tomorrow will be the same thing. I'm going to be heading home right as the Hall of Fame kicks off, so I might miss the first induction. But Sunday, I'm off all day. I'll be sitting right here once the main show starts after the kickoff. Come hang out. I still have to post a link to that, which I will do. You guys are being cool with the super chats. Let me get back to some of these so I don't fall behind on them. Thank you, guys. Jose, you're the best, man. Thanks for the $2. Can Triple H take over the main roster already? NXT does it right. Now, I have maintained about NXT, while it seems like they do everything right and we wish WWE could be more like them, I promise you, if WWE was limited to a 1-hour show every week and a 3-hour pay-per-view every few months, it would feel more special, you know. But unfortunately, we're watered down with so much content. That's part of the big reason why WWE feels stale, feels boring, feels like it's lacking in creativity. If they had the same type of formula and time slots that NXT did, shit would be a lot different. But on top of the way NXT is structured that helps them just get over with the audience better, the fucking talent, man, and these matches tonight, my God. It's really a brand for the pure wrestling fan. It really is. I'm not really watching it for over-the-top shit. I'm just watching it for great wrestling and great storytelling and good feuds. You know, WWE can give us all the other nonsense, but TakeOver is where you can kind of like get away from the circus, you know, and just focus on like really good wrestling, and that's why it's there. I wish I wish NXT had a little bit more, or WWE had a little bit more NXT in them. You know, they need it, but it's going to be really hard when they're throwing 3-hour Raws and 2-hour SmackDowns and a pay-per-view a month and network specials and Saudi Arabia shows and all this shit at us. They're literally just flinging stuff at us to where you can't even like keep up with it. It's nuts. But hopefully one day when Triple H is in charge and Vince goes away for whatever reason, we'll see some improvements, but I don't know how much it's really going to improve. I still think at the end of the day, WWE is going to be WWE. Rocksmith, I caught yours. That's right. I already saw yours. Thanks again for that. Marcus Metcalf, thanks for the $2. Will we get Sky Pirates versus Boss and Hug? I would think so. I mean, if Boss and Hug are going to retain at WrestleMania, which I predict them to, I want to see them spread out over all the brands and take on all challengers. So would love to see them make a trip down to NXT, actually, and take on a team or two down there before they eventually drop the belts and eventually split. I know everybody wants to see the Iconics or some shit like that win at WrestleMania. I'm not ready. Boss and Hug have had this long-running issue with each other that spanned forever. Give them a run before you kibosh the whole thing. Otherwise, that would be a long time, all for nothing, for a 6-week or 8-week title run, and then they're done. They got to have it a little bit longer than that. Oh, I haven't missed Super Chats. I'm still getting there. I saw yours, Jose. And Joey G, thank you. Sky Pirates could debut in the pirate ship Raymond James Stadium next year at Mania. Is that the name of the stadium? Maybe before Mania. Hopefully before. I don't know who the next like group of NXT call-ups are going to be either. You know, we're going to get somebody after WrestleMania on Monday and possibly on Tuesday. Unless they wait until the shakeup. I don't know. Did I catch all the Super Chats? Am I all caught up with that? No, I'm not. Neil, thank you, buddy. I saw Pete Dunne at my gym a couple weeks ago. Dude is a beast. He is a beast. That match tonight, my God. It was just two guys beating the hell out of each other. That's all they did. Just pound each other. They got to be hurting for certain right now. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Iconics. I liked them more in NXT. But a lot of people view them as, you know, like young talent, and they're actually a team, and they should get a run with the belts, and they probably will. But there's just no rush on it, and doesn't need to be done at WrestleMania. And after all this shit with Sasha and Bayley, losing it in a fatal 4-way is kind of my argument for Shayna Baszler retaining the title tonight. She's had such a long run with it. Why don't you ever drop it to somebody clean, pass the torch before she heads to the main roster? How can you possibly be sick of somebody that's only been around for like less than 2 years? I just don't understand what the rush is all the time. You know, Shayna Baszler can retain that belt and stay in NXT for another 1.5 years, for all I care. I do not give a shit one way or the other if she comes up to the main roster. Don't care whether or not she deserves it or not. I care about what entertains me. And if she goes to the main roster, WWE might fuck her up. So she's awesome in NXT, and I don't really see the rush in anything. WWE will eventually get to the 4 horsewomen storyline. They'll get there. But again, why does it have to be done tomorrow? I don't get it. So, Baszler, I thought it was an awesome win. Dropping it randomly, not necessarily randomly, but dropping it in a fatal 4-way in a match where she doesn't even have to eat the pin, which I understand would keep her strong, but that's not the way I would really prefer her to lose the belt. I think she can still take a loss, a clean loss, at some point and move up to the main roster just as strong as if she drops it in some bullshit way in the fatal 4-way. Once you build up somebody that much and you invest that much time into a title run, I think the title loss should mean something and shouldn't feel random, or out of nowhere or something. It should be an issue where she's built up, has an opponent, and loses. Does she have any opponents left? She's ran through everybody. But there'll be someone, like I said on Twitter tonight, I trust that WWE knows what they're doing. They've come through time and time again when it comes to NXT. We're disappointed very rarely, and we have very few reasons to doubt their judgment. And I still find it very amusing that fans will still manage to question the booking of arguably the most exciting and best overall brand in pro wrestling. They hit it out of the park in every one of these pay-per-views. Every one. And I just, I don't know why the hell we're giving them shit, Let Baszler hold the title. What's the big deal? Keep your pants on. Or don't. Quan Chang on Twitter. Good to see you chime in. You vote for the tag match. Yeah, the tag match was good. If you would have watched NXT TakeOver and watched that opening match, like I said, I was watching it in my car, but Mauro Ranallo was telling the damn story to me. I actually had my windows rolled down, and he's screaming out the window, and there was somebody on the sidewalk that actually glanced over at my car because Mauro was going nuts. He told the story for me. I got the gist of that, and I can't wait to watch it again. And maybe at the beginning of the show, people said, how can you top that? But I think they kind of did. I liked all the matches. I haven't talked about Dream and Riddle yet. I thought that match was good. I thought that match might be match of the night. And I'm glad that they stretched it out. I'm glad that they waited on Velveteen. Or on Riddle, excuse me. I thought maybe it was a little bit too early for him to win the belt. I predicted him to win. It's the only match I got wrong. But I could definitely see WWE doing something to where Velveteen wins this one and Riddle wins it down the line. And I even had the scenario of a quick pin in my head. I'm like, if he catches him with a roll-up or catches him some sort of fluke, it can easily give you a rematch down the road, gives Velveteen a big win over Riddle, which will help him out in the long run, especially if Riddle goes on to be a big star. Dream is probably going to be one himself, and eventually Riddle takes the belt from him, unless they want to fast-track Riddle right to the NXT title. But I kind of feel like you could do a rematch between them and put the belt on Riddle eventually, and then call up Velveteen. So the fact that Riddle lost tonight didn't bother me, even though I predicted him, fine with it. I kind of thought he would win because Velveteen, I feel, is due for a roster call-up as well, so he could come up after WrestleMania had he dropped the belt here tonight. But they're holding it off, and that's fine. Like I said, no rush. Just like Baszler, I like Velveteen, think he has potential on the main roster, but we all see what WWE does to people when they go to the main roster. So if they want to keep Velveteen in NXT for another year, it's fine. The kid is, 12 years old? He's got his whole damn life ahead of him and career. He'll be fine. Everybody relax, chill. No rush. Patience. Patience, my friends. Yeah, I'm a big Matt Riddle fan. It's funny, Matt Riddle, Joey, he's either love him or hate him. I see a lot of people, he's nothing, he's overhyped and this and that. Or people say, he's a boss and he's money and he's going to be a big star one day. I'm in the he's going to be a big star one day camp. I just feel like he can do that. So it's all up to him, and it's all up to WWE, and there's a whole bunch of factors to take into consideration besides just his talent, because WWE is so effed up and political and all this other stuff. But if everything works out and the stars align and they get him over, the way they intend, fans take to him and get more behind him, and he's different and he's cool, and he's a badass too. Dude's good, looks like $1 million, and he's tough as fuck. And if you do want to set up Brock Lesnar for some eventual torch passing opponent, Riddle's on the list. He's on the list. As far as maybe non-main roster guys, he's on that list. Faux show. Spaz Phoenix, what is going on, buddy? Thanks for that super chat. How are you? Was watching on a delay, so I missed your whole show. Oh, I've only been up here for a little bit. Belair lost twice. Can she shove off now and let the other have a triple threat? Yeah, I know. With the women was kind of weird that was even a four-way, but I don't know what they're gonna do with Belair now too. I mean, she's probably not gonna get any more title shots. So do they move her up? You know, she kind of reminds me like of an Apollo Crews, to where they might move her up, but I worry that it might be too early, and then she'll get there and like, oh, what do we do with her? You know, so again with Belair, I just kind of want to keep her there until they have a plan. But I don't think, as far as title shots go, yeah, she's come up short, and she took the finish tonight. So yeah, maybe she's done. Ricochet got hurt. Oh man, I hope not. Oh shit, he's gonna be out of Mania. We still don't know what's going on with Ray either. That's sad because they had the send-off. I thought that was really nice at the end because that really was their goodbye match in NXT. And the fans showed them love, and they hugged and they embraced, and they have a title match on Sunday against the Usos and whoever the fuck else. So that sucks if he's out. Oh my god, I was excited to see a Ricochet entrance at WrestleMania, and that's horrible for him. The funny thing is you watch that match, and I could tell, even though I wasn't home, just watching it on my phone, that he wasn't holding anything back. You would think as a talent, maybe you'll just take it a little bit easy. Don't want to jeopardize your match in 2 days at WrestleMania. But he was like, no, fuck it. I'm going to wrestle like it's my last match. And he did. He missed the 450, I think, or the 620, or what is it? He missed that. Everybody was doing the coup de grace tonight, which was kind of funny. But, oh man, what on him is hurt? Do we know? I'll check Twitter here in a minute. Oh my god, down. If WWE does that and they give Walter a last name, now they're adding names to people. Oh my gosh. I think WWE should do that just to fuck with people, just to make the fans be like, "What? You know, you're taking everybody else's last name away and you're giving this motherfucker one." But yeah, they could shorten it and call him Walt. That's my grandfather's name, Walter, and everybody called him Walt. Didn't Walter say he doesn't want to go to the main roster? I don't know. I don't want him to go to the main roster either, because you know why? He just reminds me of a guy that WWE will immediately turn into Vladimir Kozlov, who might come in serious, or a Tenzai, or somebody like that. Somebody that came in serious and then within 6 months they're out there dancing with Hornswoggle and shit. And I don't want to see that. He seems like the exact type of guy that Vince wouldn't understand. He epitomizes that, you know, because Vince is a very shallow human. He doesn't see, you know, he just looks at Walter on the outside. What's so special about this guy? A lot, motherfucker. Watch his matches. So I worry for someone like Walter. He's probably better off on that UK brand doing his thing where he's over and the fans want to see him and they chant for him instead of coming out to on SmackDown to no response, you know? That's why everybody complains. This is bullshit. This guy deserves to go up to the main roster. I'm like, going up to the main roster can sometimes be a punishment. Just ask the Revival and so many others. So every takeover this comes up, you know. Angry fans feeling like the talent is being done some disservice when they're probably, in the long run, being done a favor. Y'all need to chill. Walter reminds you of William Regal? Yeah, like a big, giant, tough-ass William Regal. Let me check the status on that match poll just to see if we had any fluctuation in the numbers. I don't think so. It looks like Cole and Gargano are running away with this thing. Oh, yeah, by a mile. Yeah, Cole and Gargano, match of the night. That shit was crazy. My God. And those are... We knew the 2 out of 3 falls was going to be, like, super fun. I had no doubt. But it really, I think, exceeded my expectations at the end there with all of that interference. It was very much like a Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30, where, you know, he had to fend off not only Triple H in the first match, but then the attack by Triple H. And then he went in there against Orton and Batista, and they put him through a table, and Triple H came out and interfered again. It was basically Daniel Bryan versus all of Evolution, and he beat them all. Pinned Triple H and tapped out Batista, and Oh, the only one who escaped unscathed really was Randy Orton, and Randy lost the belt. So it was very much like that. And I don't know how many more things he could have possibly kicked out of in that either. You know, it was just like, my God, surviving everything. Joshua, thanks for the super chat. Walter versus Brock Lesnar. Man, I don't know. That might not be a match we want just because of what WWE will do. F5, 1, 2, 3. One F5, by the way, not two, just one. I mean, what would make Walter different than Joe or Strowman? Joe and Strowman are both over, and were, at least Strowman was, you know, to the extent that Walter is, not more so. Dude was pretty over on the main roster during his feud with Roman and everything. You can't get much bigger and badder than that. So I don't know why Walter would be different. So I don't know if I'd want to see that match just because I think I know who would win. Yeah, Hall of Fame tomorrow is going head-to-head with the Final Four, is it not? Yeah, and actually I have a little bit of interest in the Final Four because Michigan State finally got that damn Duke monkey off their back, and they are now in the Final Four. And if they can't win it this year, my God, I mean, they've been to the Final Four so many times. The only championship team I can remember them having was back in like 2000. We're probably going on 20 years now. It's been a long time. And Izzo always has his team there right till the end. They actually beat Duke in this tournament. If they fall short here, it'll be like bad booking. If that was professional wrestling, I'd be bitching about the finish. Are you stupid, WWE? How can you not put Michigan State over? But I also don't give a shit about college basketball anymore, so at the end of the day, I won't really care. But I'm rooting for Michigan State. Would like to see them win. And then that would be the championship game is Monday. Is that right? Is that going to go head-to-head with the post-WrestleMania Raw? Yikes. Keep dreaming NXT for the next 5 years. That's funny. But yeah, the Hall of Fame is looks like it's not going to be as different as we thought. They have announced some inductors, so I don't know if everybody's going to get an inductor or get an inductor, and it's going to be the same format as every year, or they're going to change things up and only a few guys get inductors. They did announce that Hulk Hogan will be inducting Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and Jimmy Hart will be inducting the Honky Tonk Man. I thought Jimmy Hart could also induct the Harts, but Honky is probably a better bet. Don't know if the Hart Foundation are having anybody induct them and who that is going to be. Same with DX. I don't know if they're going to have an inductor. I think a really good inductor for D-Generation X might be Hall and Nash together inducting them, because it's kind of because of them that DX was even created in the first place. So that might be fun, but I always love the Hall of Fame. I'm going to chill. I decided not to live stream tomorrow night. I'm actually going to go chill and actually sit on my couch and watch the Hall of Fame. I'm going to get home from work, haul ass home, plop down, chill, and do some reminiscing. Dream needs to be on Raw or SmackDown? Why? He'll be fine. Fans always know what's best, right? This guy needs to do this, and Vince won't do this, and he doesn't think this way, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Velveteen is stupidly young. That's another reason why I'm like, why the hell do y'all want all this done so quickly? His style is crazy, but it's not too extreme to where I feel like he has a short career ahead of him. But I definitely think he has some time. And plus, I think this initial victory tonight over Riddle is really just going to lead to him eventually dropping it, I would think, to Riddle. So maybe at the next TakeOver, maybe SummerSlam at the latest, and then we finally get Dream. But again, I think it's just stupid for the fans to like be bitching. How come they haven't been called up? Who cares, man? Like, I don't know why you care. Razorblade. Vince will never push Dream like he did Orton. What the fuck? God, it's so random. Okay. Why Orton? Yeah, I might agree with you, Alex, there. So, will y'all do me a favor? Go down to the right to the bottom there and shoot me a quick like. I would appreciate it. I'm gonna see if there's any Twitter tweets coming in I need to worry about. Not really. A couple of messages. It's a shame about the Ricochet news. I'm actually gonna try to look a little bit of that up here. I really hope he's not injured. And plus, we also don't know what the status of Rey Mysterio. Is that match still on? If Rey is too hurt to compete, you know, they might replace him with Kevin Owens or someone like that. I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm not really seeing anything on him, but who knows? Yeah, Spaz, you might be right. Thanks for the $2. I was talking about that earlier because I mean he's ran. I mean, what does he have left to do? I mean, if they do want to give him a rematch, maybe if you've had the belt for 2 years, I think you've earned a rematch. So maybe he goes one or two more with Walter. But yeah, move him up. Fuck it. It's time. There's nothing for him to do. He's literally accomplished everything. So he has nowhere to go in that division but taking a step down while somebody else runs with the belt. So move him up to the main roster and hope for the best. He's another guy that I'm terrified will be absolutely nothing on the main roster. If they can put him in a situation where he's in some top storylines and maybe on SmackDown working with a guy like Daniel Bryan, I'm cool with that. But that's asking a lot. Okay, Brian's reporting it, so that's fine. I don't care who's reporting it. I just hope he's not hurt, and I hope he makes WrestleMania. But that's a shame. But Brian's credible, so it's probably legit, and that's horrible. That is true. I mean, it's a huge match. We got 8 guys in that match. So if Ricochet, whatever's bothering him, if nothing's broken, and he can get out there, he can be protected, he can be hidden, he can still have his WrestleMania match, maybe just some light offense and tag the hell out. I didn't have them winning tomorrow. I didn't predict them to win. I predicted the Usos to retain. I had actually thought that Ricochet and Black would lose all 3 of their title matches this week because they had one on Raw too. And they lost tonight, and I think they're going to lose on Sunday. That could lead to the split because I think they're kind of a strange team anyway. By the way, if you want to catch my predictions, they're up in the top right-hand corner. I think, did I put them up there? Yeah, my predictions are up for WrestleMania. I think they start about 15 minutes into that video, and I've got a timestamp down in the comments and everything. If you want to check out my predictions for Sunday, they're up. And I did pretty good on my predictions tonight. Like I said, Riddle and Dream was the only match I got wrong. And tomorrow, I predicted some weird ones. I randomly predicted Apollo Crews to win the Battle Royal. Not feeling too confident about that. But I'm almost wondering if Strowman and the SNL guys are going to cancel each other out somehow. Plus, it's on the kickoff show, which at the time of me recording my predictions, I didn't know about. I thought it was just the Cruiserweight match, but both Battle Royals, I guess, are going to be on the kickoff show. Also, the Revival do have a match. I think they added one last minute against Hawkins and Ryder. I wasn't aware of that. So I wasn't able to predict that one. But I have a very babyface heavy prediction card. I think the only heels I have winning are the Usos heels. I've got them winning. Buddy Murphy's a heel, right? I got him retain. Oh no, I'm sorry. I do not have Buddy Murphy winning. I've got Tony Nese winning. I forgot the heels that I even have winning. I've got AJ beating Orton. I've got The Miz beating Shane. I've got Brock beating Seth. That's the big one. That's the big prediction that I have for Sunday is Brock beating Seth, which I hated to make. I had Seth winning this thing all the way up until the end, but now I feel like Becky and Kofi are going to get their moments. WWE has been fucking with Kofi so hard on TV, it feels like it might be serving 2 purposes, to tell a good story and also maybe change the image that Vince doesn't push black wrestlers and shit like that by putting a title on him. Plus Kofi his popularity kind of grew out of nowhere like this when he was a replacement for Ali. I like the way the whole thing came together out of nowhere. It's not what we would have expected looking back 3 months ago, which is why I think I like it all the more. So I kind of want to see him win. And I think if WWE is going to put the belts on new guys, it's not going to be all 3. I don't think Seth, Kofi, and Becky all walk out of there. I think one of them's got to lose. I think one champion has to retain. It's probably going to be Brock. And I've got Kofi and Becky walking out with belts. With the match in the main event, I don't even know. I swear to God, I got to think of something crazy to do if Charlotte winds up winning in the main event, because I think it's so crazy unlikely. If WWE did that, it would basically be like their fuck you to 80,000 people in the main event. I could see maybe Charlotte having the upset if this match was not the main event and it wasn't closing out the show. But if they do that, like, what kind of betting odds? Like, what should I do? Should I pour another beer on my head or something tomorrow night on the stream if it happens? Y'all think of something crazy that I have to do if Charlotte winds up winning. But I got Becky walking out champ. Ali winning the Battle Royal would be good for him. That's true. I'm almost thinking I should have picked a heel to win the Battle Royal because I have, like I said, all baby faces winning. I also have Sasha and Bayley retaining the title. I've got the Demon beating Lashley. I've got Joe retaining. So I've got Joe and Brock as heels retaining. And Usos, I think, are sort of heels, I think. I will, Pedro. I will do more WrestleMania match watch-alongs. There is one coming to my channel tomorrow. I've had a video up every single day this week for WrestleMania, and another watch-along is tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me. I got to finish that up tonight, actually, and get it uploaded. But yeah, one is coming tomorrow, and then on Sunday, right when the main card starts, I might even come up here a little bit earlier during the kickoff. I wasn't planning on streaming my reaction to the kickoff, but I might come up early. But main card for sure, I'll be up here all day Sunday. McIntyre and Roman, I forgot about that match too. I've got Roman winning that one. I think McIntyre could pick up the victory there. I think he could. I don't think it's 100% that Roman is going to win, but I feel like he is. I feel that McIntyre will have a victory over Roman Reigns. I feel like they're going to treat Roman and McIntyre the same way they did Cena and Wyatt, or Cena and Rusev, where Wyatt and Rusev both beat Cena, but neither one of them beat him at WrestleMania. And I worry that since Roman took a loss last year in the main event, that he wins his, kind of return WrestleMania match here against Drew. I might be wrong about that, though. But again, another babyface. It's just like all babyfaces. Okay, so he's just speculating. All right, yeah. If it looked, because I didn't watch the match. Like I said, I was driving. So if he saw something or he caught something, maybe a hint that Ricochet might be a little bit injured, then yeah. Grow a beard for a few months. I don't know if I'd look right in a beard, and I don't even know if I could get away with that at work. I might actually not be able to do that. There you go, Austin. That's the winner. If Charlotte wins at WrestleMania, I will shave my head completely bald. Oh, JJ Leg, you said the same thing. Shave my head. Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to sacrifice it. I mean, I've been growing it for years. Luscious locks like this don't just grow on trees. I mean, it takes a long time and a lot of dedication and patience. So if Charlotte wins, that's how confident I am that she's not going to win. That if she does, I'll cut this beautiful head of hair right off. Shave myself bald. Right on live fucking YouTube. Yeah, I'm hoping WrestleMania exceeds expectations. I hope we get some swerves. I hope Big J that Roman goes heel. I would love to see that if he came out and cost Seth Rollins the match. Although the whole idea of Roman costing Seth the match I don't like, because Brock doesn't need help to beat anybody. He beat Roman last year, WWE's super guy, Superman. That all the fans think that WWE's up the ass of. They had him get the shit beaten out of him last year in the main event. So if they're willing to do that to Roman, I don't know why they would feel the need to have to keep Seth strong and have him lose with some bullshit. If Brock wants to beat Seth, he can. So I don't know if Roman needs to come out and necessarily cost Seth the match. Maybe just come out after and spear him, beat him up. Maybe if Seth Rollins wins and he's celebrating with the title and Roman comes out to congratulate him and hug him, then you do the heel turn there. Maybe you do the heel turn the next night on Monday Night Raw. I don't know what the hell's going on with Dean Ambrose, how he ties into this. So there are options. There are things you can do on Sunday. I keep wanting to say tomorrow, but on Sunday. Nair the Nads. I don't know why that was funny to me, Midwest Goon. Joey G, you should dance to Stephanie's theme for 1 minute. Oh, God. All right, maybe I'll do that. We'll see how many beers I have on Sunday. I'm really going to take it easy if I'm going to be up here streaming for a lot of hours. I've got this weak-ass Pacifico, which is super light beer. So I'm just going to be sipping on that all day Sunday. I would love for them to send McIntyre to SmackDown, for sure. For sure. It would be even cooler if he could score that victory over Roman and then head to SmackDown without Roman ever getting his win back. That's not what WWE does, but would be cool for us. Spaz, thanks for another $10, dude. You're awesome. New Day has some pancake, BS entrance. Brian comes down like normal. Big dramatic introductions, bell rings. Brian kicks Kofi in the dick, laughs at the DQ, and leaves with a bullshit burlap belt. That's a hell of a fucking way to get some heat. Especially with Daniel Bryan laughing. Just kicks him right in the fucking dick. Yeah, there's no stip in that match, right? Every other match is falls count anywhere, or, falls count at your mom's house or something. Just crazy. No holds barred. All these matches. Kofi and Bryan is just straight up. You could have a DQ finish. You actually could. Maybe WWE, that's the thing. I think a lot of these matches, it's hard just to judge like who should win just looking at that match without looking at anything else around it. So if WWE says to themselves, okay, we've decided that we want Seth Rollins and Becky to both win titles. Maybe they then feel that Kofi winning would be too much. So they'll do the bullshit DQ finish, set up Kofi and Daniel Bryan in a rematch at Backlash or Money in the Bank, and then do the title change there, where it can be the main event and the center of attention, instead of kind of in the middle of an 8-hour show at WrestleMania. So there's all sorts of little things like that that I think about when I'm thinking of finishes to matches. So all I know is that there's no rule that says Seth, Kofi, and Becky can't walk out champion. I just don't think they're going to do that. So who the hell is going to lose, and how is it going to happen? So a DQ finish is one way. I don't like seeing DQ finishes at WrestleMania, but it would get them out of it. The main event, actually, WrestleMania 8. Can you believe that? The main event, the final match of WrestleMania 8 ended in a disqualification. And that was one of the best WrestleManias, or one of my favorite WrestleManias ever. And the main event ended in a DQ. Effed up. Oh, Kofi wins the belt in Saudi Arabia? No, I actually don't think. I think WWE knows that they're fucked up for going there, but they're doing it anyway because they're a bunch of greedy pigs. But the last thing in the world I think they want to do is draw attention back to that. They still parade that World Cup out there in the Shane and Miz stuff. And DX, Shawn Michaels came back to the ring in Saudi Arabia and all of that. But I don't know, man. Doing a title change over there, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want that in the record books, just given the controversy and stuff. And plus, that's when you want to give Kofi his moment. I think a black man winning the WWE title would be more meaningful here in the States, where this is such a major issue and stuff. It would be a better feel-good moment. I want whatever's best for Kofi, and I'm not sure if winning the belt in Saudi Arabia would be the best thing for him, but I would put nothing by WWE. I'm just saying what I would do, but I'm not WWE, and they might do the opposite. Yeah, and that's another that thing I talked about with the Kofi Kingston stuff. If Daniel Bryan does not go to Saudi Arabia, which word is he doesn't want to, or isn't, or didn't last time, or whatever, WWE wants to have title matches over there. Even though I don't expect title changes to take place, they still want titles on the line. So if Bryan isn't going, they want the WWE champion to go. So Kofi it is. Champ Kofi. Yeah, I know the title has changed hands before, but it wouldn't have. They had to, it was because of the Roman deal or whatever. But aside from that, I don't think that's really something they want to do. And I think had the match gone on as planned, I don't think there would have been a title change. I think they were just kind of forced into that one. Yeah, Jay King, they might, because Kofi, the whole Kofi Mania thing, I call him Kofi, we all call him Kofi. There probably will drop as Kingston. They dropped Langston from Big E. No Langston, no Kingston. Right, exactly, Spectra. I agree, totally. Thanks for the $1.99. If you do a heel turn with Roman, another one you could do is with Big E, with the New Day. So maybe Big E could turn, cost Kofi the match or whatever. That would be a way to get out of that and keep the belt on Bryan. So you could have a Big E or a Roman heel turn at WrestleMania. Totally. Darren Pfeffer. What if John Oliver wins the Battle Royal? Oh man, that would be great. Oh man, that's fabulous. No, he's not gonna show up. Oh man, that would be so funny. That would be the swerve of swerves. What if he eliminates Strowman last? Man. No, I'm more worried about the SNL guys. I'm worried what they're gonna do. It's like no matter what they do here, it's gonna make the Battle Royal look bad. It's gonna make wrestling look bad. Drew Carey in the Royal Rumble, he was actually in like my favorite Royal Rumble of all time, but he did get the hell out of there real quick. So if these guys like stick around and they're there at the end or something, I don't know, man. And I hope nothing happens to where the two of them somehow find a way to eliminate Strowman. I mentioned the possibility of maybe a surprise entrant or somebody else being the aggressor with the SNL guys, and maybe at the end of it, they wind up aligned with Braun Strowman, where they celebrate together or something. I don't know. Maybe some sort of a swerve happens to where they wind up on the same page instead of against each other. I mentioned Lars Sullivan coming into the Battle Royal. If he wins it, fine, but I don't think he should be put into a feud with Braun Strowman because sticking him in there with somebody twice his size probably isn't the best thing to do with Lars. But he could appear and win the whole thing, just to basically say, like, I'm here. But I have Apollo Crews just kind of randomly winning. Might be a nice feather in his cap, even though that big giant cheese trophy doesn't mean anything. I just worry that I just hope they don't go overboard with the SNL guys. I hope it's not down to Braun Strowman and Colin Jost as the final two. I suppose he could get out of the ring, hide under the ring, and then come back out when everybody's eliminated. They could do a deal like that. But the motherfucker better not last the whole time in there. Unless, here's something else they could do. Maybe Braun Strowman is so hell-bent on getting his hands on them, specifically Colin Jost, that maybe he protects them in the Battle Royal. Maybe every time somebody tries to go after him, he fends them off. And he defends Colin Jost the whole time with the intent of making them the last two so he can just annihilate them in the ring. Maybe they do that. And they might go with Lars Sullivan and Cena. But how do they do that? What do they do? What does John Cena do? Just come out for a promo? Does he come out and interrupt Elias and then he's attacked by Lars? I don't even know if I want to see that at WrestleMania. I have no desire to. You know, you're going to start a whole angle. You know what it reminds me of? It would remind me of maybe an inverted Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Mark Marrow from WrestleMania 12. You know, after Hunter's match and then Mark Marrow's debuting. It'd be something like that, but just do that shit on Raw. Just have Lars debut on Raw or SmackDown or wherever the hell he's going to have anything going on with Cena. But I think the original plan was for them to have a match at WrestleMania, which probably would have been a culmination of what they were doing. Now you're going to start something, and depending on what John Cena's schedule is, he might not even be around for another few months, and you can't even pay off this match until then. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So I kind of don't want to see Lars and Cena interact. I have no desire to see that. I don't really have the desire to see Lars at all. I don't know why. Yeah, thanks, Big J. What's the deal for tomorrow? I should be looking at that. I don't have New York on my phone. What is the weather for Sunday at WrestleMania? I'm scared. And thank you, by the way, I forgot who it was, but a couple of you actually, tweeted me the WrestleMania set pictures. There's an updated one. I think they're going to do the reveal tomorrow. Don't they usually do it the night before, right? Looks pretty much put together. Really big ass screen at the entranceway there. Giant apparatus over the ring. It looks like there's a really big canopy, and the ring itself is very protected. Looks like if it rains, the wrestlers will be fine. Crowd, I don't know. What the hell? I'm getting some interesting tweets. I don't know, Darren. Kurt Hawkins getting that win. Are they gonna? That's gonna be his big win against the Revival, or are they gonna lose again and split up Hawkins and Ryder? I don't know. Feels like they've already had like a split between the two of them already, so I don't know what the hell's going on. 20% chance of rain, fabulous. It won't rain. If it's 20%, even if it does rain, it won't be like show-ending rain, like just a 5-hour thunderstorm. You know, that's not going to happen. Sweet. Temperature, I don't even care about. You know, I still think going up north in New York is a bit cold, but I don't care about the temperature. It's the rain that I'm most concerned about. So as long as the rain stays away, everybody will be fine. Yeah, Joshua, I mean, if Lars showed up to throw out Strowman, the only problem is that's going to lead to a feud between the two of them. And I think Lars wants to be presented as this ass-kicking badass that just tosses people around, and Strowman's bigger than him. So I just don't know if that's a great entry opponent for Lars. I would give him somebody that who can make him look like the big, strong powerhouse that he is. He can't be picking up Strowman and throwing him across the ring and shit like that. So I don't think that's a good feud for him. Down the road, they can feud, totally. Two monsters feuding with each other, but for Lars' introduction onto the main roster, they should keep presenting him the way he was in NXT. And I don't think Strowman makes a good opponent, at least not right now. Thanks for the $2, Spaz. It's gonna snow. Al Snow. What if little miniature Al Snows just sprinkled down onto the crowd? And the weather is 61. That's perfect. It's 61 here. You know, I have not heard the rumor of new tag team belts. The only rumor I heard was a while back when the Revival first won them. They were campaigning to have the old style, the old belts be brought back, which I loved. The old tag team titles that the Hearts and the Bulldogs and Demolition and LOD and teams like that wore. That lasted forever. When did they finally change those? Like 03 or something? Maybe 02? I would love for them to bring back that style. Because we already have the old Intercontinental title, although I would love to see the black strap on the Intercontinental title. And all we got to do then is just bring back that Winged Eagle. We're ready to rock, man. How Wheezy, good to see you in here, man. Thank you for that. Oh, you're going to the convention Sunday and wearing your GoodMicWork t-shirt. Sweet. Tweet me your pictures. That will be awesome. Have fun. Have fun. A convention on Sunday morning. Which one is it? Is it Access? It's not Access then. Is it something else? Undertaker and Sting, I don't know. I certainly hope not doing that. I think I wouldn't be opposed, even though I don't even know if WWE would do this, because it would make the fans think we're getting a match and then we wouldn't. But I wouldn't necessarily be opposed just for the two of them to be face-to-face in the ring for some sort of a segment. Maybe you can even include some other guys. Maybe you can have The Rock and John Cena. Maybe it can just be like a Legends reunion of some kind in the ring, but during all of it, you do have a stare down between Sting and The Undertaker. The only problem with that is, if you do a stare down, how do you not do a match? And I don't want the match in 2019. I don't even think Sting can wrestle. But if he is, medically cleared to have a little bit of a light exhibition wrestling match, which is probably all it would be, with The Undertaker, then maybe they can try it. But I think the match would suck. Suck. So 17 years too late. Right after the WCW buyout, I would have been all in on this. I would have been handing WWE my money. Here, take it now. 2019, it'd be like watching two old men fight over a dinner roll. And I don't want to see that. So, thank you, Jason. First time here. Please stick around, subscribe. I'll be here Sunday, reacting to Mania. It's going to be a kick-ass fucking time, man. But Sting and Taker at this point in the ring having a match, no, don't want to see it. The Undertaker can't wrestle anymore. He's got no business being in the ring. Shouldn't have been in the ring for the past probably 5 years. It's getting annoying, more annoying with each passing year. Would all love to see Taker at WrestleMania, make an appearance. Stare down with Sting would be fun, but keep him out of the ring. I'm done. Motherfucker took off his hat, his gloves, and his jacket, laid him in the ring. Fans fucking cried. I cried. Ring crew didn't even touch his gear in the ring as they broke down the WrestleMania set. They left it there, all as a tribute to him. Showered him with love. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your 30 years. You know, we love you. You're the greatest. Well, I'm going to come back, wrestle next year and wrestle in Saudi Arabia. Well, thanks for ruining it, dude. So now what do? You know, now you have one more match with John Cena, or you do another dream match and you put him in there with Sting or something like that. Oh my God. These matches are horrible, man. They're terrible. Did you guys see that Crown Jewel match or whatever with Shawn and Triple H? Yeesh. Mother of God. So no. I hate to be that way. Undertaker's a fucking legend. He's the Andre the Giant. He's the Godfather. You know, he'll be the guy when he finally does retire in the year 2063. They will erect a statue to him on the moon, because by then that's where headquarters will be. But he's a statue guy. He's, you know, aside from Andre, he's that epic, you know. It's different than Hogan and Austin. It's a different type of mystique, a different type of reputation. That somebody like Andre and Taker has. And every day that goes by that he's not officially retired, I feel just takes a chunk off of his legacy. It's highly offensive to me, especially the way he preached to never do this, and now he's doing it. How much money do you need? You know? So getting a little annoying. Sorry to rant on Taker. Who would have thought I'd ever shit on Undertaker? The last time I shit on Undertaker was last April Fool's, when the whole video was a joke. Sorry, Undertaker. My emotions got the best of me. You're still the man, and if you want to wrestle till you're 100, who am I to judge? I'd be really surprised if Undertaker wasn't there, though. He was spotted in New York. He's got to be there, because the only WrestleMania that he has missed has been due to injury, and the only one I can think of is 16. Am I right? What was the last WrestleMania Undertaker missed? He wasn't at 2000 because he was still hurt, and he came back as the dead man like 2 months, or the biker is like 2 months later. He missed 10. He wasn't at 10. But a recent WrestleMania, he's been at all of them, right? He's had a match at every single one. So if he's able to wrestle and he doesn't, that's pretty surprising. And if he does show up to have some impromptu match with Sting, that would be so crazy. So crazy. Lacey Evans interrupts Taker's entrance. Yeah, maybe we can get a Lacey Evans and Undertaker match. At least the tombstone will look pretty good. Lacey could probably take it. Everybody else is just so heavy, it looks like the Undertaker struggles to even have him up in the air. Yeah, 2000, Reese, exactly. Good to see you in here too, man. 2000, so that would have been WrestleMania 16. So we're talking 19 years ago. He has not missed a WrestleMania in nearly 2 decades. And he might miss this. How's he going to work Saudi Arabia but not work WrestleMania? At what point does this all just turn into greed? Is that not what it sounds like? I hate to judge, but on the surface, this is what it feels like to me. It feels like the Undertaker cannot get enough of these paydays, when you would think he's set for life. Man. Share the wealth, man. I did, Zane. Thank you for the $2. I saw the Piper statue. Awesome. I was curious. It was announced like the night before, a couple days before, that somebody was going to do the statue. I guess that's going to be a thing. At Access every year, they're going to unveil the new statue to be featured at headquarters. We've got one for who? Bruno and Warrior and Andre and I don't know who else. So Piper is the latest one, and I'm perfectly fine with the Piper choice. I would really hope we wouldn't get to the point as wrestling fans we're starting to question statue choices, you know. So I'm perfectly fine with the Piper statue. Piper was the man. His kids were there. His wife was there for the unveiling. Kind of was a weird unveiling. It looked like a couple of the production guys couldn't get out of the way in time, and it was just kind of weird and awkward looking, but who cares? Point is, Piper is immortalized now with this statue. Pretty cool ceremony for him, and how that touched my heart. I'm a big Piper fan. Yeah, Taker's in New York for Ring of Honor. Yeah, sure. If he wants to come out there as Mean Mark. What's our audience in here? Pretty small audience in here. Yeah, I'm not going to be hanging out long tonight. You guys are going to see a whole lot of me on Sunday. Plus, I want to get finished and wrap up my watch along that I'm going to upload in the morning just for an extra WrestleMania video for you guys to have tomorrow, because I wanted to be up here every day. So I started off the week on Monday with the April Fool's video. Then I streamed Monday night for Raw. Tuesday and Wednesday were watch-alongs. Yesterday was my predictions video. Like I said, take a look at that. It's in the top right-hand corner there. Tonight, I'm live streaming after TakeOver. And tomorrow, you're going to get another watch-along. I'll be live tweeting during the Hall of Fame. And then Sunday, when the main card of WrestleMania starts on the WWE Network, I'll be right here. Pull me up alongside it on YouTube. Tweet me your screenshots. I'll retweet them and all that. And we will have a grand old time. Been a fun week. WrestleMania week is always fun. Yeah, this one was a lot less stressful on me, too, because the watch-alongs were a lot easier. I got my top 10 WrestleMania video, which I intended to have done during WrestleMania week, but then I decided I should put that up a couple of weeks early, and I'm glad that I did and got that out of the way. It made everything else easy and relaxing and fun, and it's been great. So Sunday will be a blast. Yeah, Darren, Taker was injured at WrestleMania 10. They did the angle at the Royal Rumble where he ascended to the heavens. Fucking crazy in that casket match. And I think he had some surgery and nagging injuries type of thing. I remember being bummed out. I'm surprised that, I'm not surprised. If he had to get the injuries taken care of, you had to do that. But it's a shame that he couldn't have made Mania and then do it after Mania. WrestleMania 10 was a big WrestleMania for them, and they were missing a lot of big names. No Taker, no Hogan. And Hogan hadn't even signed with WCW yet. The only blast from the past we had was Piper. Any other news and notes you guys want to discuss about NXT TakeOver? We've talked a lot about WrestleMania. Let me go back to that Twitter poll and see if anybody caught any ground on Gargano and Cole, which I don't think they did. I doubt they did. No way. Gargano and Cole all the way there. So that was definitely the match of the night, and that was not totally an easy one. I mean, there's some percentages here for Dream and Riddle, a match that I loved, and Dunn and Walter, another match that I loved. Just thought it was badass and brutal and hard-hitting, and it's the exact type of match I would want to show somebody who maybe snickers at pro wrestling. That's fake bullshit. Yeah, take a look at Dunn and Walter, and tell me you'd want to get in there with one of those guys, you asshole. So I thought all the matches tonight were off the fucking hook, man. Great TakeOver. Who would have worked Taker if he was healthy for 10? I don't know. It probably just would have been another big heel because he already had his title match against Yoko. If he wasn't going to get hurt, though, he might have beat Yoko for the title. And then maybe he would have gone on to face Brett or Luger, but I don't know if you want a babyface match there either. So I don't know who Taker would have worked with. Part of me thinks he would have still come up short in the casket match somehow with all the outside interference, and then he'd work maybe with one of the baby faces that helped do him in. Maybe Bam Bam Bigelow might be a good choice. Because who'd Bam Bam work? Doink or something? Taker and Bam Bam might have made a pretty damn good WrestleMania match. Taker would win, of course, but it would be a lot better than Taker and Bundy from the next year. That's for sure. My God, the way Walter just pounds the hell out of those guys' chests. Poor Pete Dunne. Ass kicking he took. Yeah, we got to get a couple surprises for the Battle Royal, too. Having somebody like Io Shirai or Kairi Sane or any of those girls get in there and kind of interact or maybe mix it up a little bit with Asuka would be awesome. I've got Asuka winning the Battle Royal only because I feel like that's the only thing they can do with her. It still wouldn't even make up for it because the Battle Royal means dick. So, I mean, I almost think like an Asuka loss in the Battle Royal would harm her than anybody winning the Battle Royal. Oh, a young person should win it. Yeah, fine, but who cares? When does the Battle Royal winner ever matter? Never. I don't even know who the fuck won it last year. Who won it? I don't even know. That's so funny. Maybe Naomi? Maybe Naomi. Point is, it doesn't matter. So if Asuka loses in a match that doesn't matter, I almost think that harms her more. So I'm just like, give that damn match to Asuka. Let her eliminate all 19 women. Just after what happened to her at with losing the title on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, it's just like, ugh. Battle Royals are tough to pick. I could be wrong in both of them. I'm really nervous about my Apollo Crews pick. Oh, I was right about Naomi. Yes. I still have a brain. Yeah, and Hardy won, I remember, because they did the Bray Wyatt thing after, and that's another name that's kind of missing and that we've been waiting to see come back. How about he knocked up JoJo? Okay, first of all, ew. And second of all, what is that kid's hair going to look like when it's born? But where is he? And it's like they've been waiting for him to come back too. I don't think Sami Zayn is quite ready yet. But Wyatt and Harper is another guy who I think worked Access. Like, where the hell is he? So maybe he can make another appearance 2 years in a row in the Battle Royal. This time he can win it or something. But again, now Bray Wyatt's carrying his big cheese trophy out there. Like, what's the point? I haven't heard about Taker wanting to return as the American Badass since last year. Remember, that was the rumor, that he might come out as the Badass to face Cena, and he didn't. So if he didn't last year, why is he going to do it now when he's already 5 years past retiring? I'm not saying it can't happen. That's what he wants. Maybe Vince is like, yeah, get on a motorcycle. I hope that motorcycle has a handicap sticker or handicap license plate on it. Jesus. But if he wants to ride out there on his little bicycle, as Kurt Angle calls it again, let him. He's the Undertaker. You think Lacey wins by eliminating Asuka and Naomi? Yeah, I mean, like I said, the winner of the Battle Royal doesn't really matter to me. It could definitely be Lacey Evans. She had a good showing for herself at the Royal Rumble, right? So that would make sense. But to me, if Asuka is not going to win the Battle Royal, I don't want her in the Battle Royal at all. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I'm picking her by default. Because I'm like, how can you not have her win? Unless the only way you can do that I'll accept is to have somebody either interfere or turn on her or toss her out, or it starts a feud with someone somehow, which is why I like the Io Shirai idea, or bringing up somebody from NXT to mix it up with her and toss her out, and the two of them can feud while WWE figures out what the hell's going on with the women's titles. But other than that, if Asuka is in there and there's no funny business, how can she not win that match, man? Spectra, who has more main roster potential, Gargano or Riddle? Riddle. Just more marketable. Gargano is so small and such a little badass and everything, but again, he's the type of guy. I can see WWE having an easier time marketing Riddle than Gargano. No matter how tough Gargano is, the performance he put on tonight, all that's fabulous, and he's great for the NXT environment, but just given his size and everything, I just don't know. He's just a guy that I worry about. Daniel Bryan survived. Daniel Bryan made it to the top, and he's a little guy. But Gargano, I don't know, man. I think Riddle's got dollar signs on him. Gargano's always going to give us awesome matches and all of that, but like when you think of a credible opponent for someone like let's say Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre, I think Riddle is more that guy than Gargano is. Hell, WWE might slap Gargano on 205 Live. No thanks. Oh, I didn't hear that down. I didn't even hear the announcers mention that. Well, that's good. You should have her in the Battle Royal tomorrow then. Thomas Polster, most believable badass prior to Lesnar. You say Harley Race? I don't know. Harley was tough, but Harley was not like a trained fighter. Harley was just a good, rough and tough country boy. He wasn't scared of nothing, and he was tough as nails. But in an actual legit shoot fight, I don't know if Harley was necessarily the best of that era. Gotta think of somebody. Harley was tough though. When he was very young, but Nails was tough as nails. I think Harley could take a beating, maybe. He could probably survive a beating and just keep coming type of thing. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of in the 80s, around like the mid 80s or even 70s, who could have taken Harley in a fight. Probably a lot of guys could have. He's definitely tougher than Flair and guys, as far as NWA champions. Haku and Harley actually had a match at the Royal Rumble. That would be a pretty badass fight. My money would go on Haku, though. Fire mid-card or main roster. Dunn, Ciampa, Riddle. Oh, man, I hate to... Oh, God. Fun mid-card, fire mid-card or main roster. I'll put Riddle on the main roster. I'll mid-card Dunn, and I'll fire Ciampa because he's injured. Sorry, Tommaso. Love you. Steve Blackman could take Harley Race. Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and there's somebody like Suzuki too. Just some of these like just crazy guys that are just like crazy fucking guys. I'm trying to like maybe Luthez, could maybe take down Harley and stretch him around a little bit. Like I don't know, but yeah, you just get someone nuts like Suzuki or Haku that'll just rip your ear off and shit. Bruiser Brody, who's going in, by the way, right? Legacy wing. They put in a bunch of people. Now I forget. Professor Tanaka was another one. Bruiser Brody, Luna Vachon. I forgot the other names on that. I think, of course, the fans think that some of these guys should deserve their own entrance and stuff, and whatever. Don't really care. I'm trying to read a tweet here. I don't even know what that's about. Anyway. Billy Robinson, yeah, another stretcher man. Bruno, I'd like to see a young Stu Hart. I think a young Stu Hart would fuck Harley Race up. Harley's just nuts, man. He's just such a man's man. He's got them big forearms. He's the epitome of like a man, in the 70s and 80s. He's just, you look up man in the 70s and there's a picture of goddamn Harley Race right next to it. I love Billy Robinson. I still take a look back at his matches. He was very ahead of his time. Super fluent and almost like tap dancing in the ring. Dude was awesome. Yes, you should definitely skip your college project for Mania, Spectre. You should drop out and just watch wrestling. That's all you need, man. No, don't drop out. But as long as you can still pass that class or get an A or whatever you need to do, yes, please do not sacrifice school for WrestleMania. WrestleMania is far more important. I didn't even go to school. Look at me. I mean, I did. I just didn't finish college. And I'm a damn genius. Right? I don't know, Sonny, man. A good health, like prime of his career, Mick Foley and Lesnar? I don't know. The match probably would be fun. Like, yeah, crazy-ass Mankind from like 96 against Lesnar and stuff, but I don't know if they really mesh well. He would be one guy that Lesnar would probably be a little spooked by. He'd probably be like, what the hell do I have to do to beat this crazy guy? Because he hasn't really faced a crazy man. The closest thing Brock had to facing a crazy man was Dean Ambrose, and they didn't even get very crazy. I remember when I did my predictions for that WrestleMania 32, was it, that Brock and Dean wrestled, I predicted Ambrose to win. I thought this would be a great match for him to win because it was like no disqualification or something with no rules. So I thought Ambrose could get really creative, figure out some way to beat Brock Lesnar. I mentioned doing a Mick Foley rock spot where he pinned Brock Lesnar under a forklift. Just do something crazy to where you can win the match and it gives you a huge feather in your cap and it can almost keep Brock strong at the same time if he does lose because a big piece of the set or a pickup truck or a forklift fell on top of him and he just couldn't get up and he got pinned. I thought it was like an everybody wins situation. And I thought Dean could get crazy to where Brock would almost be like, oh my God, this guy's out of his mind. He's so crazy, I might even be a little bit fearful of him. Maybe Mick Foley or Mankind could be that guy to strike those fears in Lesnar. At the end of the day, I still think Lesnar wins, though. I'm not losing my shit over Luna and Wahoo getting in like this. Luna's passed away. Luna, just from her family lineage alone, I think should get a solo induction, but it's certainly not one that I think we're robbed of. I'm much more annoyed about Vader, much more annoyed about Bam Bam Bigelow, Bulldog, Martel. I can live with Luna. I ain't flying off the rails over this one. Same thing with Wahoo, you know? Yeah, a lot of people think that Lunar and Bruiser Brody never fucking worked there. And again, you know, Brody was another one that was nuts. Hey, Brody and Lesnar would be fun. Horrible, horrifying what wound up happening to him. But again, I don't think the wrestling business is robbed of him getting a solo induction. You know, a lot of modern fans don't even know the fuck Bruiser Brody is. He died in '88. You know, when I was a kid. You know, I was only 12 or something. You know, when he died. Nowadays, you know, most young fans haven't even heard his name before. So I just don't know. And plus WWE and their WWE mentality, there's only been a few people that have never worked in WWE to get in. You guys can help me name some of them. Off the top of my head, I can think of like Vern Gagne, and there's some others. Freebirds, although they were there for a cup of coffee and a Twinkie, technically they didn't make any of their names there. And there's some others. But I don't know if Brody would even go, and even if, you know, I just don't know. I'm not freaking out over that, basically, is my point. And Shamrock, I mean, Shamrock I was a big fan of, but you have to remember, Shamrock's run, he was only there as an active wrestler for 2.5 years. He showed up at WrestleMania 13, he was the referee, had a match like with Vader at the Next In Your House, and then by September or so of '99, so just a little bit over 2 years, he was gone. Last thing I remember Shamrock doing in WWE was doing something with Jericho. Never saw him again. So I don't have Darren. Thanks for the super chat. I don't have a ton of memories of Wahoo McDaniel. Wrestling magazines and seeing him on syndication from time to time when I was a kid, like a super young kid. But he was never somebody. Strongbow was the same way. He was never somebody that, although he was a memorable figure, it wasn't my favorite at all. Didn't really. I was kind of indifferent about them, both of them. I don't know if WWE, Latago, I don't know if WWE throws them any money for going in or not. Probably not. They give some money to the family or something like that. Jushin Liger is another one of those names, you know, that definitely deserves to go in, but didn't have a very big career in WWE, 1 or 2 appearances at the most. But he's retiring next year, and that's a huge deal, and he's a fucking legendary figure. So they wanted to put him in. I feel like he is another guy that might be one of them legacy guys, you know? Maybe next year, after he retires and he goes in, and they can do it that way. What's wrong with my teeth? They look good to me. What do you think's wrong with them? What's wrong with your face? What's wrong with your neck? You don't even have one. Your entire profile picture is a brown circle, like a turd, with a little circle and then no neck and then what appears to be shoulders. I look better than you. You don't even have a face. Great Muda, another one. Perfect example. Part of me thinks he went in one of those already. Didn't he? Maybe not. All right, I got just over 100 people in this chat here, so I'm probably going to be bouncing. How long have I been going? I wanted to come up here for at least an hour. Oh, I've been up an hour and 23 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. What do they have? Do they not have that at Access right now, like a Hall of Fame type of thing? And at some point, we got to get the physical thing. I thought we would have had it by now. I feel like this has been in the talks for 5 years, maybe even more. Putting together some sort of physical Hall of Fame. Seems like WWE is really setting up camp in Orlando. Probably be a perfect place for that. And that's kind of theme park land anyway, with Disney and everything being there and their big performance center. And maybe they can make a WWE theme park where it's kind of like Cooperstown for baseball. And you have a WWE kind of Hall of Fame setup down there. You know, a whole big building and memorabilia and all this shit. That would be great. Man, I'd make the trip to check it out. You got those boogeyman teeth. Or you got them summer teeth. Some are here, some are there. I know some people with summer teeth. Yeah, Down Ice, there's a reason why they don't recognize Inoki's title win. I just don't know what the exact reason is. Trying to remember that scenario. Who did he beat? Backlund, I think, maybe? I want to say it was a political reason, too. It might have been something behind the scenes with the promoters. I'd have to look up that story again and reread it. I don't remember the specifics of that. I remember a match with Bob Backlund and Ric Flair, NWA versus WWE champion. That was crazy. They did the interview with both belts. Fucking nuts, the shit the territories were doing back then. You would never see something like that now. I have loud screaming taking place. I hope nobody's dying. Spectre, thanks for another one. One more super chat plus 2 free ones. Should guys like Gargano and Cole stay in NXT or sit in the main roster mid card? Also, don't know why it's $4.99, not straight 5. I don't know. I get a lot of the 99s. I didn't know if that was you guys were doing that on purpose or why that is. But it's all good. Thank you, dude. I appreciate all of your support. You're the best. I've been talking about the NXT guys for a long time that I'm never in any rush to see them brought up. There does become a point with some of them where I feel like, okay, now it's time. But for the most part, I'm in no rush. If it's right, I say bring them up. I don't say, I'm not a believer in bringing them up just because the fans think they deserve it or whatever. Yeah, a lot of guys deserve it, but don't bring them up if you don't have anything for them to do. Because then when you do, they turn into the Authors of Pain or the Revival or all those other guys. You know, where you have somebody like, say, Matt Riddle, who's kind of bubbling, or WWE sees extra potential in, so they move them up right away, and some guys bypass NXT. To me, I just feel like it's a case-by-case basis. You have to judge the situation, see what you need, and go from there. And if you don't have any sort of plans, keep them in NXT. You know, no rush on any of this stuff. Shayna Baszler does not need to be there on Monday. She shows up, great. But I ain't freaking out if she's not. Like, what the fuck? Who cares? Why do we care? Joey G, thanks for another one, dude. Thanks for that $5. If there was a theme park, each section could represent a different era in WWE history. That's true. Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, New Generation, PG. Yeah, you'd have to think of how they would set up the Hall of Fame. I have been to the Baseball Hall of Fame a few times up in Cooperstown, and I don't know if they have it set up alphabetically or by a chronological order. I'm trying to remember. There's all sorts of different like areas of the Hall of Fame. There's one area with just all the plaques on the wall, and then there's different displays of each player. But I didn't notice any sort of specific format. Probably wasn't paying attention. But yeah, how would you section everything off? How would you display everything? How would you put all that together? It'd be interesting just to plan how you would organize that. It's hard enough for me to organize my fucking DVD shelf. I couldn't imagine, trying to organize all of these displays and all this information and this memorabilia and all this stuff in the Hall of Fame. It's gonna be quite the display. I mean, all that shit they have in their warehouse. Have you seen that? Man, I think they have some YouTube videos on it and stuff. Like, my God, the stuff that's in there. They still have the ring. They still have the full ring broken down from WrestleMania 1 in the warehouse. Just give me one of those turnbuckle pads, and I will give you my nut. I'll give you a testicle if I can just have one turnbuckle pad. You want a kidney? Give me the whole ring. But like, there's some of that shit I would want, and it's just sitting right there on the floor collecting dust. So yeah, there's some pretty cool shit, I mean, I'm a big Bret Hart fan, I'm proud that I've got that Shawn Michaels plaque somewhere around here, sitting here, and I'm so happy that I have a piece of that ring from WrestleMania 12. Bret's sweat is on it, and it's right here on my shelf. I like memorabilia. That shit's cool. And I hope they make a Hall of Fame. You have a tag team section. You know, I don't know how you world champion section. I don't know how you even organize that. Dominique, thanks, buddy. Thanks for the super chat. Good to see you in here. How are you? I'm going to watch TakeOver after work. Can't wait until Sunday. Got my day off just for this event. Wonderful. I'm glad you're off. Hopefully you can hang out with me and the rest of us for a little while on Sunday. You're not going to be, so you have not watched TakeOver yet. I won't say anything else about it then. And maybe you want to get off this chat so you don't get spoiled. But I'm about to sign off here in a minute anyway. But TakeOver is amazing. You don't have to, I will promise you this, dude, you don't have to fast forward through anything. I mean, it's like edge of your seat shit the whole way. Fantastic show. You're going to love it. Spectra, thanks for the buck, and then thanks for another buck. You are the best. I want the Undertaker's Ministry Cross 2. I do. Fuck, Marry, Kill, Iconics are least. The only reason I'm answering this fuck, Marry, Kill is because I definitely kill Billie Kay. I lovingly poke fun at her, but she is so annoying to me. I don't know, maybe she's not annoying to anybody else, but to me, it's some nails on a chalkboard shit when she's out there screeching. So I want her out of my life immediately. Lacey and Peyton, that's a toss up there. I'll marry Peyton. I don't know. Rarest piece of wrestling footage in my collection. I'm trying to think of something that you might be able to see on my second channel. I've got some super rare shit. It's a bodybuilding competition with like Ricky Steamboat and Jimmy Snuka in it. And I've never seen it before anywhere. It might be out there now, but at the time of me finding it, it was on a bunch of old tapes, unlabeled tapes, that I got in like a stack of tape trades years ago. Whole bunch of fan cam kind of footage shit from non-televised matches and stuff like that. A lot of it's grainy, but this bodybuilding competition pops up. And I'm certain I'm not the only one that has it, but it's rare shit and I've never seen it anywhere else, so that's on my channel. Other than that, I'd have to think about it. Plus, what classifies rare? You know, like I have TV shows or wrestling events that were televised, but I taped off of television, like all the pay-per-views. WrestleMania 4, my copy of WrestleMania 4 is taped from pay-per-view that day, complete with the countdown and the preview guide and the whole thing. All of the Attitude Era pay-per-views. I have the Sunday Night Heats recorded before all of those as well, right on the USA Network with all the commercials and all of that. So I have a lot of wrestling shows and programs, especially WWE, that are in their original form because I manually recorded all this shit on my own. I had a whole room set aside just for VHS tapes alone. They piled to the fucking ceiling. And so like that, some of that could be considered rare because I have like the unedited versions of it. You know, the same stuff that's on the network, but I've got the raw kind of footage from TV. So it just depends. Billie Kay is great. Yeah, that's the thing. She's much like kind of like Baron Corbin. I think that's her whole deal, is to be the annoyingest, most annoying woman you could ever possibly meet on planet Earth. And she plays it well. Kind of like Baron Corbin plays a great douchebag Applebee's waiter piece of human shit better than anybody. So Billie Kay is annoying me. She's doing her job. Oh, thanks, Spectre. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know we had that ability as YouTube premium members. I'm a premium member myself. I have not seen an ad in 2 years, which is nice. It's worth the $10 alone just to not have to deal with that. And I know that's dripping with irony since I monetize my videos. I'm sorry for that. But I got to make them dollars. Got to make them Washingtons. Maybe one day they'll be Benjamins. But right now they're Washingtons and Lincolns. But you meant by that message, should they stay in NXT for the rest of their careers or go to the main roster mid-card? I see. As much as I'm in no hurry to see people go to the main roster, I don't know. There's got to be a middle ground. You know, the fans, I feel like, are impatient as hell. And they want everybody up to the main roster tomorrow, where I'm like, slow down, no rush, wait 6 months, hell, wait a year. But I don't know if I don't know if I'd necessarily really want to see them there forever, because I do think there will come a time where you have accomplished everything you can accomplish in that brand, and it is time to make room for the next breed, because it is a developmental breeding ground for people. So if people are staying there their whole career, then there's no room for anybody else to come up. So eventually people have to come up. It's just I don't think it needs to be as early as a lot of the fans want. So I say go to the mid card. Do not spend your whole career in NXT, because eventually you are going to want to see some matches. Like, even though we're fearful of certain NXT talent going up to the main roster because of how the WWE will potentially handle them, there are a lot of dream matches we want to see when they do get there. So you can't keep them there forever. Yeah, Yogi, TV title. I'll say, oh, you've got the WrestleMania anthology? I do too. It's right up there. It's a black box DVDs. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna see if I can show you guys this. I actually took this picture not long ago just for WrestleMania. Although I left that big black box of tapes out of the picture, but I kind of put out. I was filming my watch-alongs, right, for WrestleMania. So I had all my kind of VHS tapes and shit displayed for WrestleMania, and then I realized I had them all together. So I laid them out here on the computer desk. Let me see if I can get this into the project here. Of course, it's not going to let me do that, but I want you guys to see this. It's a trip. I might just have to change the file format, and I'll be able to show it to you. But I have so many WrestleMania tapes and DVDs that I forgot about a few of them that I had, and I didn't include them in the picture. There we go. Let's do that. Sometimes it's just a matter of putting the file name in a lowercase instead of capitals, and sometimes that actually does it. We'll see if that works. Change up that file. And if it doesn't work, you guys will just have to wait. I'll put it on Twitter or something. There we go. Well, it's huge. There we go. Put that down. Yeah, so these are all my freaking... These are all my WrestleMania tapes. I just kind of laid them on the desk there. But I left out the fucking... the VHS tape anthology. I have the DVD anthology over there to the left. But I left out the big VHS tape, and then the booklet there of DVDs. Those are all my original recorded WrestleManias straight from pay-per-view back in the day. So I'm ready for WrestleMania. So I had taken that picture with the intent of tweeting it, but I realized that I left out not only the anthology, but I also left out a few big box WrestleManias. I have the WrestleMania 7 and 8, which are in big boxes that I had buried off to the side that I didn't see. So I'm actually missing about 15 tapes in this picture. But anyway, that's a whole lot of WrestleMania. Spectre, you're getting married, bro? Nice. Since I haven't been in the restaurant business forever, how much would it take for me to pay you to fly across the country and cater your wedding? I don't know if you'd want me catering it. I'm an excellent cook, but I'm not a chef. I'd feel more comfortable putting you in touch with somebody who could do a really good job for you. Maybe cut you a deal, something like that. But I don't even know where you live. Across the country, apparently. I don't know. You wouldn't want me doing it. I think I could make some good stuff. I'll make some good wings, and I'll make some food. But catering a big, beautiful wedding like that, you don't want me. Speaking of restaurants, before I get out of here, thank you for that, Bubbinator. Hilarious story today at work. So I'm at work, and I'm at the kind of the front door a little bit hanging out, and I have this really young server. She does a great job, you know, but she's young and she's really stupid. But she does a good job, and people like her, and you know, I almost like kind of mentor her. I give her a lot of advice and guide her and stuff, and she does a good job. It's just I don't know, California. So customer walks in. He's staying at the hotel across the street. He walks up and he goes, I want to make a reservation for tonight. She goes, oh yeah, sure. And so she goes, what's your name, or what's your last name? And he goes, Wayne, as in John Wayne. And she goes, John Wayne. She kind of looks at him confused, and he's like, yeah, Wayne is the last name. So she takes it down, gets his info and phone number and all that. And I could tell that she was confused by the John Wayne comment. So he walks away, and I go, I said, Amanda, do you know who John Wayne is? And she goes, yeah, it's The Rock. Millennials. was like, no, that's Dwayne John. She's kind of right. The name is kind of similar, but I just love that she thought John Wayne was The Rock. I was like, no. It's just really funny. More funny than anything else. I just laughed, and I had to immediately, I excused myself, and I told her, I was like, I have to tweet this. So I went up in the office and grabbed my phone. I had it plugged in at the time, and I immediately tweeted it to the world. I'm like, listen to what this girl said. So yeah, John Wayne apparently is The Rock. But I'm like, no, that's Dwayne Johnson. You were close. Yeah, Spectre, if you want a whole bunch of Tortino's pizza rolls. Hell, I don't even know how to make those. I've never bought them. Don't even know if I could do it. I don't even trust myself to make those. I want your wedding to be perfect, dude. And it's just funny because I'm in the middle of WrestleMania weekend, and my whole life is wrestling right now. And then she says that she makes that comment about The Rock, and I'm just laughing. I'm like, everywhere I turn, I'm getting hit with some like wrestling references. Hilarious. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to be bouncing out of here in a minute here because I've been going about an hour and a half, and yeah, I still have some video work to do tonight. Yeah, imagine The Rock doing a Western, yeah. I just thought it was hilarious. Oh, thanks, Joey G. You sent me, thanks for the super chat. You sent me a pic of your collection on Twitter. Oh, nice. With a Kurt Angle picture. That is sweet. Man, physical, I still enjoy owning the physical content to stuff. I still enjoy owning the DVDs and the VHS tapes, even though there's no real reason to do that anymore. I still have it, and I don't want to get rid of it. I want to be able to watch it when my internet is down. I can still have access to every wrestling match I could ever imagine without the WWE Network. I like having that to fall back on. But when everything's just streamable, makes me question why I put so much time and energy as a kid into tape trading. If I would have foreseen the future and what technology would do, all that work was kind of for nothing. Even though I do have a few hidden gems in my collection that will never be on the network. Aside from that, I'm not sure if it was worth it. Oh, thanks, Jared Painter. Oh, a throwback comment to me singing Baron Corbin's theme last Monday. So many of you enjoyed that. His theme is so stupid, too. Man, oh man. Well, anywho, we only got about 100 people. I didn't even get up to 100 likes tonight. What a bummer. Anyway, not a big deal. Check back to the channel tomorrow. There will be a brand new watch along up. Just more WrestleMania shit to help you get in the mood. I'm gonna take a look back at a classic WrestleMania match, one that's 30 years old, just to give you a little hint. And other than that, I'll be up here Sunday, live reacting to the entire WrestleMania card. Come join me. Come hang out. It will be a blast. In the meantime, follow me on social media. I'm going to be talking and chatting on Twitter all weekend long. I'll be happy to interact and answer questions and shit like that, so feel free to hit me up. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for the watch along, and then I'll see you on Sunday for the WrestleMania live stream. Y'all be good. Have a great weekend. Happy WrestleMania season to one and all. Catch you soon. Peace.